you know who put the cold sharp steel right too? Yeah, it was common people like me and you. Wrote home to say they're sweet and gentle too, and 20 years later all 200,000 was through. Now Malcolm and Martin, Robert and John are too, but I expect that's something you already knew. Like Rodney King and Malice Green, you've already seen that when a man gets mean, the law is nothing but a screen behind which you get away clean, so there's nothing between you and that famous final scene. They don't make you ashamed to live in a land where freedom is nothing but the name of a high-fast game that right-wing rich old white men play while the rest of us under orders. Stay away, because it's not okay for you people to have a say. You can't prove by me a new order's begun. Same old stuff. Is it so different? Now and long ago, do things not still remain the same? But in that way, and we sometimes see it confused. It's not searching for the doors within. Can we endure the mass confusion? Any more than undo what has been done? Must we expose the false illusion in the way of fighting with our own? In the way of fighting with our own. In the way of fighting with our own.
Hits that ball high, a little bit on the inside. Must have been a curveball. And here we go. Strike two on Clark. Clark's batting now 0.106. Today, tall ships entered Wiscasset Harbor, commemorating the 500th anniversary of the arrival of Christopher Columbus in Maine. Protest marchers crowded along Federal Street, keeping guests from eating at the Garage restaurant. Protesters have said that Columbus invaded in 1470 the Maine coast, especially in Whitefield, receiving shedding lobsters from the natives and gravel, which he mistook for gold. Protest marchers were arrested as they crowded along Main Street and forced their way into the Lincoln County Courthouse.
What is it?
Christopher, Hunts, Meadow, Lincoln, O'Donnell, Lowenthal, the dang refrigerator's defrosted again!
Yeah.
Your dang beer's getting more.
Yeah.
The artichokes are getting rotten.
I'll fix it after the game.
After the game, the whole place will stink to high heaven.
Then it'll be just like the dang game, right?
You watch your language, Christopher.
Right? Right?
Remember, you are descended from a proud Whitefield family.
Now that won't help the dang Red Sox. Fix your dang refrigerator now, will it, Dolly dear?
And you remember your family goes way, way back to the discovery of the New World.
Yeah.
Even before the discovery of the New World.
Don't remind me.
Well, just don't forget that.
And who will let me forget? Like you won't let me forget we live in this dump where the dang refrigerator doesn't work and Jack Clark can't bat his birth date.
Over for dinner tomorrow?
Not your mother.
Well, she's been on a diet, and I've got some special recipes for her. Found them in this magazine.
The last time she was here, she broke through the porch.
Well, I know, but she's on a diet, Chris. Besides, didn't you fix that?
Yes, I did. But if you invite your dang mother over here, I'm going to go play cards.
Chris, you watch your language, or I'm going to pull the plug on the darn TV.
You just try it. Dang.
It was a long time ago, Before historians stocked the Western continent with video cameras, it was in an age before the coming of the gold-crazed conquistadors, before the beaver-bonking Franco deer slayers, or the pointy-hatted religious colonists, or even before the soil-hungry Irish potato munchers. It was in an age when man fought with his own two hands and ran on his own 2 feet. It was a time of real Americans who sat around fires, munching on dried meat, wearing wet moccasins, telling stories about their forefathers who sat around fires, munching on dried meat, wearing wet moccasins. It was a time when change was just around the corner, but there was no corner. It was a time without time.
Una waniye, pucha vanina, una waniye, Taiwani wanta poo.
I don't get it.
Chief Global Village, your son, brave, pale meadow, not get funny, ancestral story. Una waniye, pucha vanina, una waniye, Taiwani wanta poo.
That a rich one, that one fat forefather story. You say that again, brother. I don't get it.
Chief Global Village, your son, brave, pale meadow, still not get one-liner. He not familiar with traveling hunters stop at farmers' longhouse setup. Una waniye, pucha vanina, una waniye, Taiwani wanta.
Sorry, Mom.
Tanacho nu. Tanasnetapan. He says, that's okay, you can still smoke pipe with elders. Pata Singapore. He said, your mother, mama, straight arrow, not have sense of humor either.
Stop in your tracks, natives! Admiral Christopher Columbus is here!
My name Cristoforo Colombo, Ammirale Invincibile, Ammirale Eccellente da todo el mundo. Voy de aquí en los barcos la Niña, la Pinta y la Santa Maria.
Your mother? Your mother.
He says, tu madre!
No, you don't get it. He asked if Santa Maria is your mother.
Santa Maria madre?
Comprendo.
I don't get it.
I have problema con el niño.
What's wrong with the kid?
He fails to see the humor in intercultural misunderstandings. It was the same with his mother.
La reina Isabella me mandi aquí para descubrir una ruta corta fra l'Espagna y el Oriente. Hay una ruta, hay algunos ricos aquí.
Sorry, Spaniards. You are a day late and a welcome short.
No comprendo nada.
You are 1,000 miles out of your way. We have no cinnamon, we have no ginger, we have no tea, no incense or myrrh. It looks like you either miscalculated the size of the earth or just totally sailed in the wrong direction. You must have been looking at your compass backwards because you have landed amidst the group of the poorest, spice-free North Americans in this spirit's creative world. Sorry, Spaniards, you are birch barking up the wrong canoe.
Dámelo oro, ahora, oro, quiero oro.
He wants all your gold.
He wants all our gold. What's gold?
It comes from the earth. It is hard
and you can make things with it.
Oh, yeah.
Come back tomorrow and we'll load you up.
Take Uma. What is that stuff?
This is America's best friend. Picks us up and keeps us cool. Smooths us off and keeps us even. This, my friend, is tobacco. Here, try some. It takes some getting used to. Perhaps your Surgeon General would like to try.
No, I don't think he would approve.
Oh, come on. The Dutch seem to like it. They roll it in fat cigars and set their beards on fire. Here. I'm sorry, we're all booked up. We've got Leif Erikson's son in Lodge 4. We've got the shipwrecked Dutch in Lodge 11, and the Lost Tribes of Israel in Lodge 7. Everything else is taken up by nomadic tribes on 10-day excursion tours. Sorry. We could bring some lobsters to the landing.
Desolante.
Ao bar! Oro! Me compreende, oro! Ah, bueno, andamos. Hasta luego.
Oh, just a minute, soldier. I have a bag here of that gold stuff you were looking for. We use it for putting on our pads.
They said the roads here would be paved with gold.
Oh, there's plenty more where that came from. We have big holes filled with it.
That's great. Just great. Say, what do you call this place?
Oh, we named the village after our chief. Chief Global Village. What would that be in your language?
El Pueblo Rondo, Balltown. But what if your chief dies?
Why, then we name it after his son, Pale Meadow.
El Campo Blanco, Whitefield.
Whitefield. I like the sound of that. Say, here are your lobsters.
No shedders in there, are there?
Oh, what do you think?
Yeah.
Keep the faith, bro.
Chief Global Village thought he had gotten the better of Columbus, having filled his ship's hold with what turned out to be gravel. How is the chief to know that corn, tobacco, and the lowly potato taken from Balltown would revolutionize Europe? Or that his daughter, Princess Huntsmeadow, would fall in love and run away with the admiral? Well, the potato did change Europe, but poor Princess Huntsmeadow was put ashore on Monhegan Island, tired and pregnant. She had twins, whom she called Chris Huntsmeadow and Chrissy Palemeadow. But that is ahead of our story.
Channel 10, Columbus, myth or legend? Exciting stuff. Channel 15, Columbus and the New World Order. Channel 11, Columbus, the man, the way it was.
I want a cigarette. Where's my cigarette?
Dolly?
What?
Dolly, what's this?
What's what?
What's this?
What, Chris?
Come out here. What is this?
Laundry stuff?
This is a lottery ticket. You know how I feel about lotteries. Where did you get the money to buy a lottery ticket?
Food stamps. I sold a few food stamps.
Food stamps? Since when have we been on them?
74, the winter of 1974, the year you went on unemployment. Why don't you want me to remind you of that? Now don't look at me that way. You have the Red Sox. Don't I have the right for a little fun? Besides, my friend George says you've got a 50-50 chance with one of them lottery tickets.
Yeah?
Either you have a winner or you don't.
Well, I don't like it. Who is it that buys these lottery tickets anyway, huh? And not your Wall Street high rollers with the stock market portfolios, and not your corporate bigwigs with their BMWs and la-di-da vacations. And not Robin Leach or anyone who's ever been on Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. No. It's the guy who makes his payments on his Ford Escort, the welfare mother with mouths to feed. It's guys like me, a poor working class stiff.
Working class stiff? Chris, you haven't had anything heavier than a toothpick to carry for the last decade. Working. And I'm not so sure about the stiff part.
Besides, it's a matter of principle.
Principle? Now give it to me. It's time.
What?
Then draw the number. Give it to me. Turn the TV on.
They ain't
Channel
worth
6.
nothing but to a poor man further on the decline.
Well, we'll just see about that. Jeez, Chris, hurry up. It's almost time.
The numbers for the weekly Metrobuck ticket is 37, 29, 24, 18, 4, and 11.
4. I got a 4 right here, Chris.
You got all 6 of them?
Oh, shucks. Jeez.
And now for the special federal sweepstakes drawing. The first number is 13.
Got one number anyway.
Second number is 4.
4. Well, you know I got
Third
4.
number is 21.
21. I got 21.
Fourth number is 27.
27. Chris, I got 4 numbers
The
here.
number is 28.
I got 28.
And the last
Oh, my
federal
God.
sweepstakes number is
Is.
Come
Oh,
on.
baby, come on.
36.
Ah, 37.
president of the Special Federal Sweepstakes Commission will be in touch with the number of the registered ticket 13,
Registered?
21, 27, 28, 36.
Jeez. Register? You've never registered anything in your life.
No, stupid. All tickets purchased within the United States continental borders are automatically registered with the sweepstakes.
We won! We're rich! We're rich! You know what this means, Chris? We can finally get out of this dump and live like Americans ought to live. Born free. Free is the win. Free! Chris, free pool. A swimming pool. Pool our resources. A run up the social ladder. A stepping stone. A bridge to cross. A blanket to wrap ourselves in. A ticket to far off places. A middle class, a first class seat on a jet plane soaring into our old age. We have every one of our dreams all wrapped up into one. We have money. Money! Chris, we're rich now. Whew. You know what these are? Food stamps. You know what I think of these? Take that, government funny money thing. You know how people look at you when you take these out, Chris? You're dirt. People look at you and they say, her man's a lazy bum, a vagabond, too lazy to make an honest living. Well, I wouldn't use these to buy a
lottery ticket.
Lottery ticket. A lottery ticket. Oh, come here, my sweet layabout. We're rich.
Little is known about the early settlement of Balltown, to become Whitefield, until the Revolutionary War, when a battalion of British soldiers became disoriented and lost. They wrote home, God-awful place with no good roads, inhabited by rude, artless folk. Coincidentally, a 1988 Lincoln County tourist pamphlet repeats nearly the same revolutionary account.
You know, I'm beginning to dislike this war. It's sure now they told us back in Derbyshire. They told us we were back for Christmas. It wouldn't be so bad. You couldn't even have a good conversation anyway.
Despite the hard times, one British soldier fell in love with a local girl who ran away despite her parents' wishes. The romance soon cooled, and she found herself tired and pregnant in Wiscasset. She had a son, Chris Pale Meadow Lincoln, and a daughter, Chrissy Huntsmeadow Lincoln. Now, General Washington was so impressed with the Balltown Battalion that he decided to make it the capital of the state that would be Maine.
Sergeant, what was the name of that town that fought so well?
Balltown! Sir!
It's a funny name for a town.
That's what they call it, sir.
Yeah, very well. Where on the map is it? Ah, yes. Here on the west bank of the Sheepscot? No. Eastern Penobscot Bay? Nova Scotia? God, man, can't you control that thing?
Yes, sir. Just a touch of the fever, sir.
Well, get the doctor after this, will you?
Yes, sir.
Look, could you just make a mark on the map where this ball town is? Ah, yes. Right there on the west bank of the Kennebec River. Make a lovely capital.
Yes, sir.
Now for a name, Balltown will never do.
No, sir.
Something classical. I've got it. We'll call it Augusta. That should make everyone happy.
Yes, sir.
Sergeant, take care of that fever, will you?
Yes, sir.
Where is Bimini?
Don't know.
Well, these ticky-tacky resorts look great.
Sound expensive.
Who cares? We can afford it.
I hate sand.
You don't have to have it.
Tiki-tavis are beaches. Beaches have sand.
Chris, if even one grain of sand touches your foot, I will personally call for a ticky-tacky tootsie to come and wipe it off for you.
Tiki-tavi tootsie?
That's what they call them. Ticky-tacky toms and ticky-tacky tootsies. These servants hardly wear any clothes. Nobody wears clothes in Bimini. I'm going to get a new bathing suit, a bikini.
Sounds like Old Orchard Beach. Sounds expensive.
We can afford it.
Did they say how much the jackpot was?
Nope, they said they gave all the details to their representatives. You should be here any minute.
Well, what about mosquitoes? I hate mosquitoes.
We'll have a ticky-tacky tootsie on either side of you to whoosh them away.
Sounds expensive. Can you get that?
Oh, anything your majesty says.
I hate sand.
Yes?
Assistant Secretary Clifford Eagleman, ma'am.
Chris, did you hire a male secretary?
Hell no.
Sorry. Jeez, I was warned about that. Everybody wants a job when you get big money. Look, I said...
From the lottery, ma'am.
Oh, my God, Chris, he's from the lottery. Come in, come in. I'm sorry. I was told not to open the door to anyone. Some people just live off other people's good luck. Chris, the lottery's here. This is my husband, Chris. He found the ticket right in the TV guide.
Sir? Sorry, sir.
Our pleasure. Who wouldn't want to be disturbed and become millionaires? Have a seat.
That's why I'm here.
Can I get you some coffee, tea, a jelly donut?
No, thanks.
A whoopie pie. I bought them special.
No, thanks. Nothing then.
Well?
I've come with an offer.
I knew it. I knew something was fishy.
Now, come on, listen to the man.
There's been a mistake.
I knew it. I just knew it. These things never pay off. Rich people win lotteries and stay rich. Poor people always get the shaft.
Sir, please.
Don't you sir me. I can tell a phony when I see one. Ticky-tacky my foot. These things never pay off. Telling people they can go to Bimini without sand, without mosquitoes even. I was in the Army and I know what a beachhead is. And there weren't any ticky-tacky tootsies there either.
Chris!
How many people who live in trailers end up in Bimini anyway? Name just one.
Chris, shut up. Let me handle this. It was my ticket.
Bimini my butt.
Can it? Is it true? Have we been shafted?
Ma'am?
We didn't win the lottery?
Yes, ma'am, you won the special federal sweepstakes.
You see, Chris?
It's just that we kind of wish you hadn't.
When they saw that we were the downtrodden class.
We? Who are we?
We the powerful. We the movers and shakers.
We at the Defense Department.
Defense Department?
The Defense Department. You folks don't know anything about this, do you?
I know I was shafted, but I never thought it was federal.
Let me explain. You see, when the new administration came in, we were strapped for funding the military budget. Peace was breaking out all over. There was no more need for expensive, high-tech weapons of mass destruction. We were really hurting. Congress wanted to cut us way back, including staffing.
My heart bleeds.
Chris!
So some junior officer in some Pentagon closet comes up with the idea of raffling off the secretary's job. Just in the slow times, mind you. It would bring in big bucks and save us...
The secretary?
The Secretary of Defense of the whole U.S. of A?
Bad idea, huh? Listen, we had no idea some petty dictator would get us into a war. Things were really slow. We were laying off the people who classified documents. Nothing was left that wasn't too dull to be secret. We were really hurting. So, if things stand, you two are Secretary of Defense for a month. Salary, bennies, golf club membership, access to the Oval Office, the whole kit and caboodle.
The war room?
Everything. Pretty stupid, huh? Nobody even noticed until the war.
How long have you been doing this?
Oh, about 2 years. 19 months. We took in a bundle and nobody cared. Do you remember the name of the Secretary of Defense?
Casper somebody.
I think that was Reagan's guy.
You see what I mean? But the problem is, not a day goes by that someone doesn't want an interview. And what can we tell people? That the acting Secretary of Defense is Merle and Sally Puckerworth from Milwaukee, Wisconsin?
Merle and Sally Puckerworth?
The Puckerworths were great. They did a lot to turn the drug war around and really had a fun time, too.
Holy cow!
It was getting so popular in government. The State Department and the Treasury were thinking about having their own lotteries. And then the war.
The war?
Really, we weren't ready for this. But then the body bags started getting back.
The body bags?
The Puckerworths weren't up to something so big. The strain was getting heavy, to say the least.
So, what do you say?
Well, we really can't afford to leave the job to, please excuse me folks, amateurs right now. Until, at least, things get back to normal.
What about the salary? Don't we get paid for being secretary?
Well, we really can't afford that either. You see, this last lottery was a bust. No one bought tickets on the future when no one knew what the future would bring. This country was really depressed, emotionally speaking. Lottery tickets only sell when people are desperate but hopeful, not depressed and fearful.
So?
So, you've got us. You have a right to the job by lottery rules, but we really can't afford to...
I told you so!
The secretary has said that he will take a pay cut, which would be passed on you. Of course, there would be no Happy Island junkets to visit some bunker in the Caribbean, just a lot of sweaty press conferences at which we deny everything.
Cut to the chase.
We can offer you the salary of a clerk typist for a month and say $14,000 food stamps, no
Food
travel.
stamps?
We can offer you a free pass to the National Park System.
Food stamps?
Downtown parking pass, a White House tour.
I hate food stamps!
Billy, you don't have to take anything you don't want.
We'll take the lousy job, Secretary of Defense.
eggs and nothing else. Now you get out of here.
I really wish you'd reconsider. The world's a very dangerous place right now. There have been terrorist threats on the Secretary's life.
You heard my wife. We'll take the job. Where do we sign?
Right here. Now, of course, you won't have to go anywhere. We'll set up a command post right here. You have a secure phone?
That's right here on the table.
Falls on the floor sometimes. Chris trips over the cord.
Don't worry, we'll take care of everything. Now, I'll be your controls officer. First, we'll need the staff accommodations, a 24-hour bodyguard. I'm going to have to add on space. I can see that.
Well, what did the Puckwurst do?
Quite honestly, the Puckwurst were a little better situated to begin with.
Are you saying that our place isn't good enough for the Secretary of Defense?
No, I did not say that. It just needs a little work. A few adjustments here and there. Really, you have a very nice place. Very cozy. Well. Thank you. I'll be seeing you folks. Are you sure you don't want the food stamps?
No way.
Okay, well, I'll be seeing you folks. I mean, Mr. and Mrs. Secretary of Defense.
Oh, cow. Secretary of Defense.
Food stamps of all the gold.
After the Revolutionary War, the soldiers came home to find that Balltown was being divided up by large land proprietors. This did not set well with the rough country boys, who dressed up like Indians to scare off the land surveyors. The town got such a spicy reputation that even the Lincoln County Sheriff shied away from enforcing the law if it meant tangling with the so-called Liberty Men. One of the big events for the young town was the coming of the Irish immigrants. Some say they came to escape religious persecution. Others say it was the potato famine which caused the move. But there was a small minority that knew the real reason.
Gosh darn it, woman. That was one wicked good supper you cooked there, Ethel.
Thank you, Ethan. That was one mighty fine fire you set in the cook stove, Ethan.
Thank you, Ethel. That was one mighty fine parlor cleaning you did there, Ethel.
Thank you, Ethan. That was one mighty fine milking you gave the cow today, Ethan.
Thank you, Ethel. Wait a second, the cow's gone dry.
Well, where'd all the milk come from?
Beats the heck out of me. You sure that stuff was milk?
Sure tasted like milk, but it was a bit runny, I must admit. That was a wicked big tree you cut down today, Ethan.
Thank you, Ethel. Who the heck are you?
What say?
There's some little green people on the lawn there, Ethel.
I swear, Ethan, you are getting senile.
No, I'm not on it. It is some type of dwarf, some verdant-shaded diminished human touch.
And what you got from that cow was albino maple syrup. Ethan, my goodness, it is tiny green goblins. Quick, get the musket and shoot them before they multiply.
I think they're access to the nearest place to blood you.
My God, Ethan, it is green, square-headed forest devils come to eat us alive.
Oh, no, man. We're not your forest devils. We have come from across the ocean to make our home here. We are Irish.
Ethel, I am religion.
No, that is not us.
The potatoes went rotten. That's it.
No, that is not us either. We've come for an altogether different reason.
I told you, they want to eat out our livers.
We just rock and roll.
settlement, Whitefield grew steadily up to the Civil War. Many brave Whitefield soldiers fought in the war, including Private Christopher Vicky Chase O'Donnell, who fought with the 20th Maine at Gettysburg at the Battle of Little Round Top. O'Donnell is credited with inspiring General Joshua Chamberlain to make his famous move to the left flank that saved the day at Gettysburg.
General Chamberlain, sir. I really can't hold it any longer.
That's all right, Sonny. We're all afraid.
Oh, it's not that, sir. I gotta go, you know?
Number one or number two?
That's number one, I think, sir. We have to go too, sir.
Well, go in place, soldiers.
On the wall, sir. No, wall!
Well, I'll think of something. You all have to go?
Yes, sir. Pretty bad.
Number one?
Number one, sir. So I can touch diarrhea.
Company, tut! Drop weapons. Move to the left. On command, unbutton. Unbutton. On command, let fly.
Holy cow, sir! Here come the enemy! A full charge of Texas and Tennessee regiments, sir! What do we do, sir? Red full street, sir!
Quick!
Okay! Why don't they ever invent zippers?
Company, charge!
Of course, Chamberlain and the 20th Maine drove back the enemy in disarray, with remarkably few casualties considering their degree of exposure. Again, we hear of Whitefield boys at the Battle of San Juan Hill. It is, although some historians disagree, it is now generally thought that Teddy Roosevelt did not say, "Remember the Maine." They think he said, "Remember Whitefield, Maine." He was dating a Whitefield girl at the time. And then in World War II, Whitefield gained further notoriety. It so happened that a Life reporter was in Whitefield for the 4th of July, just about the time that our boys were regaining the beachheads in the South Pacific.
Hey, you got it over there, Elma?
Yeah.
Boy, those kids really like that greased pole on the 4th of July. You got the hammer?
Yeah.
Give me the hammer. You got that hammer?
Yeah, I got the hammer.
All right, just you have plenty of time. Don't get nervous. Don't get nervous. You got the nails. Nervous, get playing bags over tomorrow, okay? What about the money? You got the money? The $5 bill?
You,
The $5 bill?
you always want the money from me. Next year, you bring it.
Next year, I'll
Here.
Here we go. Who's greasing it up?
You grease it up.
Grease it up good. Yeah. Those kids, they'll get it too easy if we don't grease it up. All right, are we ready?
Okay, ready?
1, 2, 3. Hey, give me those boys.
Drop
furniture. Do you sparkle under, sir?
Describe it, I suppose.
Now, just a minute. Nobody takes these chairs.
Now, Dolly. Madam Secretary. We are working with limited space here. All of your personal items are put in storage.
These are our chairs. We live in these chairs. Chris can't think without being at a 30-degree angle, right, Chris?
The chairs stay.
But where will you put your conference table? Where will you meet with your undersecretary?
The what?
The undersecretary. You have a staff of deputies and undersecretaries and bureaus that cover every phase of the department.
They want to know where to put the satellite communications station. What about that mound over there?
That's the leach field. You can't put
That
it...
reminds me, 30 porta potties will be here this afternoon. That leaves showers and a mess area to be constructed.
We have a dug well.
And the tanker truck is on the way. Until then, we are setting up for pizza and whizzing in the bushes, sir.
Most of our men have combat experience. It's a good thing you didn't win the Department of Education.
You didn't see most of the support staff. They're in the holiday and direct on campus.
Really?
Park Force never had it this bad. You see, during peacetime, we're really quite a lazy little department. Defense contractors and lobbyists for lunch, that sort of thing. But the war has put everyone on the edge of their seats. Even the president's interested in this.
The president?
He calls over here every half hour since the bombing started.
The bombing?
You knew there was bombing.
Well, of course we knew there was bombing.
I told you, this is big business. There's a cloak of secrecy.
Secrecy?
This area has been declared out of bounds to everyone, even the press.
No!
You weren't expecting anyone, were you?
So Otis and Garbage Man comes on Thursday. Make a note, Summers.
Yes, sir.
Don't worry, he's been taken care of.
Oh, yes, sir. I forgot something. We are ready for the briefing.
Don't worry, it's not as bad as it sounds. Just ask anything you want. You'll be briefed by Lieutenant Colonel J.D. Summers.
Defensive Department briefing number 76-21-36. Protocol CWLWH20-L22. 1303 hours. Subject, progress in the war, sir.
You may ask questions
What questions?
about the war,
Like what?
like how's it going, anything really.
How's it going?
Great, sir.
Now what?
You want no specifics?
Do I?
Now, here's where it gets tricky. You see, if things are going great, then that is all that's good to know. If fast, you can say great. And if challenged for details, you can say that they will come to later briefing. Now, if someone asks...
Someone? Who asks?
Oh, the press, the president, the other undersecretaries, your neighbors. Basically, you know what you've been told. Unfortunately, you don't know a lot for, say, making decisions.
What decisions?
Oh, whether to ask for reserves, where to bomb next, that sort of thing.
We have to pick the bombing targets?
Somebody has to. Basically, you're in charge. Of course, you may have been getting misinformation.
Well, he hasn't told us anything yet.
Nothing specific, but it may not be great. You see, there are 10,000 employees over here handling intelligence data, sifting through field reports of casualties, resupply, enemy communications, think tank reports, that sort of thing. Now, these people then have to brief their superiors, who really don't have time to hear the details, so they provide summaries, somewhere along the lines of pretty good. These people then have to brief their superiors, and so as not to disappoint them, they upgrade the briefing to good. And so on down the line until we start getting supers and excellence and total victories at hand. Then, somewhere along the line, someone is briefed who has read a newspaper, and they wonder if you might not be reading about the same account. Do you read newspapers?
Sometimes.
Should we?
Not necessarily, because the only information they get are from briefings from me. Anyway, to protect themselves, these secretaries and generals try to decide whether or not super may be just a bit too glowing, but you might ask for details.
You said we could ask for details.
Yes, but we would prefer not. You see, then we would have to go back down through the chain of command and come up with some sort of supporting evidence. All of that takes time that could be spent on the war effort.
And we tell the press.
And the press tell the people, and if all goes well, the people will believe us, and there won't be too many demonstrations against the war.
There are people against the war?
Just the normal bleeding hearts.
I would like to ask a question.
Go right ahead.
Who are we fighting?
You want the name of the country, ma'am?
Yes!
Would you settle for regional titles? Central America, South Africa, the Mideast, something like that?
No, I want the country.
I want the country too.
Okay. If we could, for the time being, we would like to reference you by calling the country Country X. and its neighboring countries by the code names Lion, Elephant, Monkey, and Zebra.
It's Africa. We are at war with Africa.
No, we did not say that. These are code names. We wouldn't be that obvious.
Continue.
Basically, sir, Country X invaded Monkey, and Lion came to help Monkey. Then, Zebra declared neutrality, but was secretly siding with Elephant against Country X.
Why doesn't Country X have an animal name?
Because they're the enemy. And if we bomb the country with an animal name, we can end up with all sorts of problems with those protectionist agencies.
Go on.
So we went back to the Security Council to get Monkey, Lion, Elephant, and Zebra to back a resolution condemning Country X, asking for sanctions, and if those didn't work, to send in a peacekeeping group.
And did the sanctions work?
Sanctions never work. Not with that sort of guy. We knew that before we ever started.
Well, why not?
Would sanctions have stopped Hitler, or Mussolini, or Genghis Khan? You don't know what you're dealing with here. This guy's bad news. He's one bad dude.
So what did you do? Or was it the pucker work?
We had to stop the naked aggression, so we sent in a peacekeeping group.
And?
Bombed them back to the Stone Age. Excuse me, Bronze Age. Summer's corrected. So, then the Civil War. Because of the power vacuum, more people killed, more infrastructure destroyed. Now we're at Stone Age. Is that right, Summers? So we send in food aid to help the starving refugees and welcome our valiant troops back home. And then... He? Ruler of Country X, the Hitler clone, the despot. He bombs Elephant, Monkey, Lion, and Zebra. Not to mention Giraffe and the 3 small republics of Field Mouse, Gerbil, and Mole.
Good cat! Those furry little things!
So what do? We bombed everything in Country X. We wiped out the bridges, the factories, the refineries, the power stations, anything that stands 4 feet off the ground.
So what did you do?
Well, this guy is tougher than we thought. We had to make the decision to send in ground troops, risking terrible casualties. You see, Country X is covered with highly lethal landmines, barbed wire booby pits, and not to mention 500,000 crack army troops. So, basically, this is where you come in. You have to decide whether or not to let this despot kill, rape, ravage, and bomb a bunch of defenseless countries, or whether you want to send in ground troops, risking the lives of thousands of American soldiers, not to mention killing thousands of others under-equipped, starving enemy ground troops. Is that right, Summers?
In a nutshell, sir.
Well?
Can we have some time to think this over?
Take all the time you want. Make that 5 minutes.
Could we have some privacy, please?
Sure. Come on, Summers.
Well?
Well, what?
Well, what do you think?
I was wondering what the Red Sox are doing.
Oh, Red, we have no time for television. We have a war to win.
Ah, neighbor. Nice day.
Yeah.
Perfect weather.
Not snowing.
Pretty hot, really.
Yeah, right.
Nice barn I got over there. Bet you could hold 30 or so steers in there.
Don't raise steers.
How foolish. I don't mean steers. Those are out west. Get a long little doggy. That's it. We're in Maine. You don't raise beef here. This is dairy country. Holsteins here. Black and white. Dairy farms. Milk, butter, cheese, that sort of thing.
That's a chicken barn, butthead.
Chickens? Why didn't I know that? Chickens are a lot smaller than cows. Aren't
Generally, yeah, they are.
Tell me, you use a tractor, don't you? I thought I'd need one. I bought the old landscape place.
I heard.
Thought I'd raise a few check-ins myself. Milk a cow or two, sort of back to the land.
I never left it.
Suppose you're right. You can't come back to something you never left. About the tractor?
Get it here.
Oh, you shot them.
A John Deere tractor, our little Ford. It's all you ever need.
Right, tractor. I'll use it at price. By the way, I'm having sort of a bonfire music thing down the back field. Welcome to come down.
Right.
Bring your wife, bring your girlfriend if you got one.
Right.
Well, so long. Thanks for the advice.
Christ, you hippie.